Annie, you've been asking a lot of questions, Annie. Well, hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kelly. I create content around nurses, skincare, aesthetics, lifestyle. Today's video is a highly requested video. I asked on my Instagram story to let me know your skincare questions, and oh boy, you guys did send in your questions. So if you're not following me on social media, I am on Instagram. My handle is showing right on your screens. Please follow me for skin related content. Okay, all right, so let's start. So I did ask on my IG story, and you guys gave me a lot of questions I see here. Okay, so I just had to do like a screen record so that the video keeps playing, and I have like a good number of you guys sending your questions. So the first person from Miss Annie, you asked, been using meladerma pigmentation correction cream but no improvement, don't know why. So when dealing with hyperpigmentation, there are certain things you need to know and reasons why your hyperpigmentation might not be fading with brightening serums or creams. You could have a traumatized hyperpigmentation. So usually when you have acne, it's normal that it leaves behind post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, because acne is an inflammatory condition of the skin. So once that area dries up, because it's an inflammatory condition, that area from turning red, it now turns to a brownish pigment. Now you could make matters worse if you decide to pick that acne. The more you pick, the more trauma, the darker that area looks. Now when that area becomes darker and then you now decide to use brightening serums, honestly those brightening serums don't really do so much, especially for already existing hyperpigmentation. Some hyperpigmentations or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentations, whichever one you want to call it, would fade, all right, because of the fact that they are brightening serums and the skin is producing new cells. However, not all will fade. So if you have been using meladerma pigment correction and you have not seen any changes, it could be that your spots are traumatized, or you've had them for a very long period of time and it's not going. So I would really recommend that you book for a consultation with a professional. I offer consultation services. I'll be sharing my link in the description box below, and I'll also recommend that you possibly look out for chemical peels. Most people think that chemical peels, oh, it's dangerous for the skin, I don't want to do any peel on my face, I don't want to be peeling, but it is the most effective way to actually fade an already existing hyperpigmentation or a traumatized spot. Especially if you've tried the big guns in skincare routine, things like your retinoic acid, tretinols. If you tried these things, then you should consider maybe doing an actual chemical peel alongside your treatment plan. But I would say to you, Annie, that you should seek for professional help going forward. Okay, all right, so next question. So again, Annie asked, she said, does a combination skin need a toner and a moisturizer? If yes, which do you recommend? So I would say that most school of thought says that, oh, a toner is very necessary in a skincare routine. I actually agree that toners are very important. We have different types of toners depending on the classification. You can have hydrating toners, you can have toners that contain active ingredients. So for some people that live in climates or areas where your skin tends to get dry, weathers that you can find windy conditions or snow, yes, having toners that contain humectants, great. If you have acne, then you're looking at having toners that contain active ingredients. But if I'm going to put an active ingredient toner, all right, let me call it that, into your routine, I'm going to be looking at other factors, things like what your face wash contains, what you do as a moisturizer, what you do as a night routine, before I consider putting a toner which has an active ingredient, for example a BHA, into your routine. Right now, not everybody needs a toner. If you work with some dermatologists, they don't really want to put toners into your routine. So different people, different preference of whether they want to put a toner into your routine. And it's not that without a toner your results will not be great. Actually, that's a lie. You can do without a toner, but it depends on what your skincare concerns. As at the time of assessment, if you are being assessed and you mostly have papular acne, right, the acne that is on the inflamed side, you don't really need, for instance, you don't need a BHA, right? Because BHAs are mostly for comedogenic acne. They help to decongest the pores, to break down sebum. So you're mostly going to be on the anti-inflammatory or antibacterial ingredients. So you see why, like I said, not everybody needs a toner, but it's an essential in a skincare routine. Now, you talked about moisturizers. I have a video on this channel about moisturizers, so maybe you should try and see it. I'm going to link it up in one of my screens here, like the link, so that you can watch the video on moisturizers and the ones suited for your skin type. With moisturizers, we have emollients, we have humectants. These moisturizers, they are great for different skin types. So if you're looking at combination skin, then you can consider humectants as moisturizers because it helps to lock in more moisture to your skin. Okay, so I believe I've answered your question, Annie, right? So next question. Pending_name asks, what sunscreen do you trust the most and gives really good protection? With sunscreens, you're looking at different types of sunscreen. A sunscreen basically helps to protect us from ultraviolet rays, which is the UVA rays, the UVB rays, and the UVC rays, right? The UVB rays is the rays that when we leave the house, we end up meeting these rays. And the UVA is the one that gets it facing a window now and the curtains are open. So definitely I'm being exposed to the UVA rays. So if you're exposed to different types of sun rays, you should use a sunscreen. With sunscreens, we have different types. We have chemical sunscreens, we have physical sunscreens, we have mineral sunscreens. With chemical sunscreens, there are different ingredients in chemical sunscreens, but recently different articles have come out to say that the FDA have noticed that some ingredients in chemical sunscreens tend to cause cancer, but there is still an argument on that. I don't want to publicly say until more research has been done on it. Then we have the physical sunscreens. Under the chemical sunscreens, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to see Neutrogena, you're going to see Super Good Play sunscreens. These sunscreens, again, they're not sponsored. They are brands that I have tried on my own, and I like the sunscreen because it actually gives good cover with the sun. With chemical sunscreens, what chemical sunscreens do is to absorb the sun rays, so it absorbs it into the skin, but you don't get enough sun protection with a chemical sunscreen, which is why you need to actually reapply every 2 to 3 hours depending on your sun exposure, right? So with physical sunscreens, what they contain is titanium oxide. It helps to deflect sun rays. So once the sun hits you, a physical sunscreen will deflect the sun rays. Different types of physical sunscreens you can find in the market. You have Topic Cream, is a good brand that I have tried. La Roche-Posay, ACM sunscreen, Eucerin as well. I am not sure if Eucerin is a physical or a chemical sunscreen, but Eucerin is a good brand of sunscreen. So physical sunscreens deflect. There's also mineral sunscreens, which is where your zinc oxide comes into play. Your zinc oxide is great, but zinc oxide leaves a whitish cast, but it's the best type of sunscreen that gives you maximum cover because it has zinc oxide in it. So most mineral sunscreens that you find, you will notice that it's leaving a whitish cast on your face, but they actually give you the best sun protection. Some sunscreens, especially the La Roche-Posay brand, has other antioxidants mixed in it. So the reason why some people tell you, oh, do vitamin C before your sunscreen, it helps your sunscreen absorb better, is because sometimes you need an antioxidant because they help to protect us from free radicals, which is where once you apply something that helps to protect you from free radicals and you apply a sunscreen, it actually gives you a better cover generally from the environment. So which is where your La Roche-Posay comes in. I'm going to put the brand of La Roche-Posay that I really like. I'm going to put it right on my screen here. There's also ACM sunscreen. Even though some people said that it's oily, it is oily, right, for oily skin type, but it's a good brand of sunscreen, and it actually gives you a good sun protection. All right, so I hope I've answered your question. So the best type of sunscreen basically is not the one that I'm going to recommend. However, it's the one that you feel most comfortable reapplying, because I might recommend a sunscreen for you and you don't end up liking it because of where you were staying, then like the environment, the weather, and also the kind of job that you do and what you're looking out for when it comes to sunscreen. So the best type of sunscreen is the one that you find comfortable reapplying. My voice might sound somehow, but I do have upper respiratory concerns and why my voice sounds rusty. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Annie asked, Annie, you've been asking a lot of questions, Annie. You asked again, similar question, please, what sunscreen do you highly recommend that's affordable? So I know that the price point for some people is the reason why they don't usually do sunscreens, but like I said, you can't start a skincare routine without having a sunscreen. The aim of everything is defeated if you don't have a sunscreen. So if you're sure that you want to go down this skincare line, you have to be responsible and use a sunscreen. So I'm going to say the affordable brand of sunscreen that I know that there's a Nigerian brand, Skin Science. Again, is not sponsored, so this brand that I'm mentioning in this video, do the right thing and sponsor your girl. Okay, so Skin Science, we have an affordable brand of sunscreen that you can actually use, right? I think it's 4,600, so it's affordable. Black girl sunscreen, I think is 9,000 something, I'm not sure. I'm going to put the prices of some of these brands in the description box so you can check it out to see the one that's affordable to you. Next question is, do you pick a toner over a moisturizer, or what really is necessary for skincare? I believe I've answered that before, so yes, check the previous minutes of this video. I think I've answered that question before. Somebody asked, what's the difference between a cleanser and a toner? All right, so I know that this question is like one of the most confusing questions ever. So when it comes to a cleanser, you can find cleansers, you can find face wash, they all mean the same thing. A cleanser is something that you use to take off dirt on your face. A cleanser can contain active ingredients ranging from benzoyl peroxide, alpha hydroxy acid, lactic acid, mandelic acid, glycolic acid, basically anything, right? Now, do the same thing with a face wash. So some cleansers have foaming agents, some don't have foaming agents in it. Benzoyl peroxide does not foam because of the sulfur in it, while other actives like AHAs can foam when you apply it on the skin. It all depends on the formulation. Okay, toners are however different. Toners are micellar water. Some people confuse that. So micellar water is different from a toner. Micellar water is what is used to take off makeup from the face, dirt and makeup from the face. Some people start with micellar water first, and then after a while, 2-3 minutes, they apply a face wash which can be foamy, like I mentioned, depending on the ingredients, and used to wash off their face. But usually the face wash, because of the short contact time it has with your skin, it might stay 2-3 minutes and then you wash it off. Then you apply a toner if you have a toner in your routine. So toners are the ones that you use cotton pads for. The one that you have like a small cotton pad and then you apply a little bit of toner and then you use to clean your face. So don't make the mistake of saying I'm using micellar water in place of a toner, or I'm using cleanser in place of a toner. So the step in a skincare routine basically is you cleanse your face with micellar water to take off your makeup, just like I did makeup today. I can decide to take off my makeup with micellar water, wash my face with my face wash or my cleanser, and then decide to do a toner here. So you see that these are the steps when it comes to doing skincare routine. Don't say that you did a toner in place of your face wash. That's wrong. Some people end up doing micellar water toner. That means you've not still washed off your face. Okay, some other people would say, oh, without toner I feel like my face is still dirty. I feel as if I'm still seeing some dirt on my face. You cannot clean your face clean your face, quickly clean, if that's the way I'm going to describe it, because you are stripping the skin of its normal barrier function. If you get that squeaky feel on your face, trust me, you are stripping your skin of its normal barrier function. Okay, so we've come to the end of this video. If you liked this video and you want me to do more related answering your skincare questions, please follow me on social media platforms, and when I ask you, let me know your questions. Please drop your questions for me to make videos on them. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to keep subscribing. Please support this channel, and thank you for watching my video. Bye.